Welcome back. So after a break from the 2-0 we saw earlier, we are back for NiP versus Astralis, the second and final best of 3 of the evening. So you favoured NiP heavily in the first match. Do you favour a team heavily or at all in this best of 3, and is that subject to the veto?
Well, this one's interesting because as you can see with the veto, okay, so very standard stuff. NiP, they don't get to play cash because everyone's afraid of their cash game, which is of course going to happen. So Astralis, they're going to ban that, and then NiP have this decision, in my opinion. It's either they get rid of Inferno, or I think they should get rid of Dust 2 out of the remaining maps. But we already know that Inferno is a map that they don't like to play too much. They're okay on it, and we've seen them starting to play Dust 2 again.
They picked the last map.
So they basically ban Inferno. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So then we get the pick of Overpass from Astralis, and then because usually Astralis ban Cobblestone, right? But they have this choice between Cash and Cobblestone. Which do we ban? Do we ban the map that we never really play Cobblestone, or do we ban Cash? So that really tells you a lot about how much Astralis respect NiP's ability to play Cash, basically, because they'd rather ban that. So the interesting thing there is now that we get the pick of Overpass going into Cobblestone now on the second map, and then the last map then is going to be Dust 2 because Train got banned as well. So it's a really weird 3 maps in one sense because of the Dust 2, I think, because Astralis have typically been a very, very strong Dust 2 team, one of the world's best. Sometimes they have been called the best Dust 2 team. So how does this go? Overpass, we know that NiP can play well there. Astralis are very good there. I feel like it's going to be a really close 2 maps, but I think Cobblestone should run over Astralis. But I think that, so basically the map 1 is a must win for Astralis. Otherwise, I think they lose the series.
Okay, well, we will see and find out. I mean, this should be really fun. Astralis have been playing really well. Their wins have been dominating wins recently. So both teams have been really good to watch. We'll see if it continues here on Overpass.
Yeah, it's gonna be good, James. We just saw dominance, and I get to start T-side again.
I like dominance, Dan. I'm going to leave that there because it sounds weird when you say it out loud. This effect's going to be on a kit with a HE. The entire NiP side with Kevlar. Interesting that we have the kit on this map where the sites are kind of on top of each other. Where we're seeing more often 5 sets of Kevlar for the CTs as well. Off to a good start so far. Pit being taken down. NiP with a very slow approach now. 1 player in connector. There's no vision of short B. That said, there's already a flank coming in from KGB, if I'm not mistaken. So if there is a play towards Monster, he can just bide his time over there. But it seems NiP are committed to the A site here.
That they are. Here comes NiP, and already the first shot. So going to be landed here. Astralis having a great showing, and there you go. He taps the last player. I just remembered something actually. I remember seeing on Twitter recently. I think Dupree. Do please.
How do you plead?
Do please. That's got to be like a call out at some point. But no, I saw him writing that he had an issue with being partially deaf in his left ear, and he's going to get checked out by the doctors or something.
Which is as a temporary thing.
Well, I don't know. As
a recent thing, I mean.
Well, that's recently what I saw on Twitter. So I don't know what the nature of that is like, but that's obviously very scary. Sound is incredibly important in this game.
I had an issue where I was partly deaf in one ear and then fully deaf in one ear, Dan, because my ear was full of wax, and trying to get it out, obviously by sticking my finger in there, wasn't the best idea, and I just jammed it, and I was just completely deaf in one ear. I had to blast it out with hot water, Dan. And loads of it, I was surprised how much it wax can be in one ear, but maybe that's his issue. So, device has gone down, he's been picked off early, and that's going to be a FAMAS. Being collected here by NiP, but, I mean, sorry, not FAMAS, it's a UMP. Astralis using 2 players now, as are the NiP side. But I mean, really, this favours NiP. They're the ones on the Force, and they've got a FAMAS after all. So this is extremely dangerous for Astralis. I do wonder if charging a site, maybe GetRight would be better off actually with a Tech 9. I think he would. Than the UMP. But NiP just going to slow things down, try and stretch the Astralis side. Again, this is a map where bomb sites are on top of each other, so the rotation will be faster than some others. Down goes Zipex, and again, oh, actually, no, this time NiP starting to speed up before rotation comes in. And final 2 CTs completely isolated. Calvin thinks immediately down he goes to the UMP. Cajun be alone now. All alone. Bomb's gone down. Forest is tagged. Forest and GetRight, who have been doing great work for NiP on 2 kills each We'll see who will get the third. Good one come in. Well, down goes exist, so if it is going to be one of these two players, should it be either of them? Cajun B, though, still has some opportunity. No kit, so he's got to move quickly. And he'll be Get Right to get the 3K. Get Right and Forest becoming an extremely dangerous duo once again, Dan.
Yeah, and that's such an important round for NiP to win off of the force buy. And obviously they went for the force because they didn't get the plant down. And now they get to dictate the pace. And Astralis obviously don't really have anything to work with. Only a couple of Deagles and P250s and a 5.7. Dupree only one actually getting the full investment. He actually gets a kit as well.
Nice.
And this is definitely respect. Usually a team, again, will go with a more substantial force buy, but this is a sign of respect onto NiP's ability to play anti-force buy. So we will see how well NiP can do that. And already a bit of a push is caught by Get Right. He'll get both kills there. There's actually a third player. Get Right might spot him as well. In fact, now he's going to dart back its Device, who is here as Dev for the time being. Well, he's named himself on the server, James, but that's not what I'm going to call it.
Yes, let's simply refuse that.
And Device might get some nice frags in here. Only one, but one is definitely a decent enough result, I think, for him. Now Astralis could really use another frag, but they haven't really invested so heavily that they need to get a lot of frags. Getting one or two is definitely acceptable. Dupree probably wants to survive if he possibly can. Get a cheeky shot maybe and then survive. Because he's got that Kevlar, that helmet, oh, and the kit and the Deagle needs to get out of there. Dupree definitely wants to save right now, and he'll go and do that. Carrigan, what is this? Just finding exist. Just trying to, please let me leave. Let me leave, please.
Well, Dupree has full Kevlar to save, so he will do that. This is a force, and it has failed for Astralis, so he can bring this into the next round. Again, I think the most armor you can lose is about 40. He's got just under 80, so he's good if he can hold on to this big blue gun. Remember when that skin came out? It was a bit Tron-esque, but I went back to the Hypnotic, the Honey Badger.
It's the first skin I ever got from an unbox. Like right at the start of the game, I got one of these. It's not a stat track one, of course.
The earliest one I can remember is MP7 Skulls, which I must have opened 100 of those then. MP7 Skulls, the original. I hope one day it's worth like $1,000.
Yeah, that's not happening.
No.
So NiP able to convert the next round, and as we saw, it's going to be a tough round for Astralis just due to the nature of how NiP play these rounds. And the only thing that Astralis really have invested is a P50, a Deagle, and what Dupree saved, which is quite cool because he does have a kit, which is always nice to have.
Nice.
And Cajun B spotting a first player, the spray fragger comes in. Cajun B gets both kills for the P250, and he doesn't have any Kevlar. What a complete disaster there. That means that the players are just unable to really get connections on him, because that aim punch is usually the one and done sort of situation. You get a kill, then someone spots you, you get tagged, and then immediately you can't hit anything. But that close range really worked out for Cajun B. Now a 3 versus 3, but Get Right has no health here. He can't do anything except be a lurker behind his teammates.
I do not recall if NiP flashed short B, but I know Fallen made a point of developing a flash for the timing of his teammates moving into there quickly, because it was a problem that needed to be solved. Therefore, he solved it. So I do sincerely hope that NiP did it, but I don't remember seeing a flash. So a bit of an issue there if they didn't, because it can be, well, you see what can happen there. This is entirely recoverable for the NiP side. I don't know if they tried to dispose of the guns that were on the floor there. You can see the CTs are looking for them. Defex picks up an M4, and indeed there are AKs to be collected.
That's unfortunate, isn't it? Because you can't get rid of them, right?
There's a ledge on the side they could try and throw them on, but it depends on how many are there, because you're susceptible to a boost, short, potentially monster as well, and connector. So it's a little bit of a dangerous place to be disposing of weapons.
Well, I guess it won't really hurt them in the immediacy of things. They will get the bomb down and the round will be won by NiP, but Astralis will try to save these. And NiP have shown generally a reluctance to go hunting unless they already have a very good economy. They tend to always favor their own economy unless it's already very, very healthy. And it's not really in the state yet where it's very healthy. And it's not really in the state, especially in a round like this, where they expect it to win with five players. They're not in a state to go and risk dying. They absolutely must keep the money alive that they have on them. And so so they will do that. And NiP go 3-1, and we saw how important the CT sides are generally for them. But also, we saw that they can play CT sides. They have a bit better of a time than Dignitas in that regard. Their individual skill and their experience and their coordination really comes into that factor of giving them good into what is part of the facets that make up a good CT side. So a bit of a pause here. I think a device crashed, so we're just waiting upon his return.
Yep, hopefully he gets there soon. At least the gun he picked up is still on his person, so they can use that in the next round. Okay, we can continue the show now. Urgently had to be adjusted over there. So device is back and the match should start in about a minute and a half. So 3-1, again, a good start to the T side from NiP. Obviously, I think the CT side is still where you want to be racking up the rounds here. So Astralis off to a really bad start in that regard. I mean, if NiP break their next spy, then that does not bode well really at all for Astralis.
No, it doesn't really. And Astralis, they are one of the teams that have really good CT sides on this map. So that's kind of cool that we will get to see this clash of styles in that sense that, okay, we've got a really good CT side up against what is, very often the very, very strong NiP buy rounds on the T side, and buy rounds that seemingly are endless due to the fact that they prioritize their own economy so heavily and they're usually so good at playing those anti-ecos. But Astralis are one of the teams that are able to get a lot out of an anti-eco whilst being the ecoing team. They're able to have a lot of setups often where they're able to find frags, because obviously they have really skilled players as well, which always helps. But they're great at getting very much out of very little. However, in this case, I think NiP are going to be probably safe in the immediacy. I think NiP would actually need a bomb plant to really make sure that they can have a very strong buy in the next round. So it's not actually perfect here for NiP. They have a couple rounds to stabilize, and Astralis are going to be in here, but they won't have an AWP, I don't think. Or will they? Yes, they will. So they'll have actually an AWP. So that's actually a really big factor, because the picking battles towards the A side of the map is going to be quite painful for NiP potentially because of device being on form lately. Now, I do wonder if, due to that factor, whether they will try to win the round on B so that device is not a factor early in the round, early in this matchup, to deny the AWP. That would be a really good way to play against this, I think. So I would be expecting a B play. And it looks like that is what we're going to get. In fact, it's an incredibly rapid B play, James.
Fast one down and going straight in there. They've got smoke on the site, so they can go for a plant in the corner or anywhere on the site itself. But they're choosing to push through the smoke first. Bit of a flashbang coming in. It didn't really work out though. Bit telegraphed, and this T is getting absolutely wiped out on the site here. Cajun B coming. I mean, what can this NiP really do in this situation? Exist has nobody to cover his back. As soon as he faces the site, it gets taken down from short, and there we go. Not much to say really. I mean, at the end, at least, it was a bit of a wipeout there for the Astralis side. So yeah, it was a quick one. I think it seems the flash needs review really, because they dropped a flash through the smoke in the middle of the site to try and take the CT side of water. But I think the CTs could see it, just looked away from it. So just a bit of tweaking to be done there. But the bomb plant did go down there, and NiP will be buying once again. There's another pause coming in, but hopefully it won't be too long.
Yeah, I think the idea was right, and I think the reason was actually to try to actively work against what could be seen as an advantage for Astralis of having device in the AWP in those device to pre-setups that we
the speed of the play.
And zip picks. Well, no. Well, hitting B, because forcing the AWP to retake is going to be harder, because on that site it's very easy to retake the site with rifles, but if you have an AWP, you actually have to go into these deep angles, right? And you've got to kind of play awkward situations. It's much harder to work that with an AWP, and you basically remove this factor of device maybe getting an early round advantage for the CTs as they try to take control towards A long, because and toilets, because that's normally what a lot of T sides would have in their default, and that's a really common way for a TT side to get advantage, and Astralis are very good at that. So I think that's kind of what NiP were playing against. I think they would want to actually try to exploit the fact that if they remove that factor from the round and then they win the round, then all of a sudden either device saves the AWP or they just put the CTs in like a really weird spot in the next rounds where he saved the AWP and they've got maybe you know, just a save with it, and then it's a much easier round for NiP to play against rather than just run a default against Astralis, which I think is going to be hard anyway. So we'll have to see what their interpretation is now, because they have less equipment to work with. Actually, no, they have exactly the same equipment, James, because they didn't have an AWP last time. So how do they do it now?
Well, we have some initial aggression over towards B. Again, they've got that consistent Molotov coming into short B, which is really important. And GetRight's going to harass instantly, and with a good timing, he will be forced off the position. We see on Inferno that Astralis are really good at conserving their grenades and using them with really good timing to thwart would-be aggressors. And that is a nice one over towards short B there. But GetRight has to, we can come back to that because Dupree is challenging. He's got the bomb as well, and will continue to spam these players with grenades. Oh, but Freiburg has the perfect timing to kill the rotation. I think Device, obviously he spotted a player there, but he may have been spotted himself, and he will escape just in time. So Astralis being harassed into passive positions a la Inferno top mid, for example.
Did you see that, James, how fast that was? Device is already predicting that boost. He's just lucky to be alive. He's lucky.
He is indeed.
To be able to taste.
He is one with fortune,
oxygen
Dan.
Still. And NiP will slowly make their way towards this A site. And Astralis will get a push in there. Arrogant, the flash was beautiful. Pushing out for the AK, almost picking up the next frag. 3 versus 3, these NiP players are very weak. The Device misses the only shot in the round, essentially, that he could potentially have connected, well, apart from the other one that he did shoot, so never mind. But only two shots with the AWP, actually, in this round, and he won't get a kill with either, and that's kind of a big deal here into this 2 versus 2. 1 HP for Freiburg, and both CTs will arrive at around victory eventually as they win their respective fights, and it will go 3-3. But the bomb did go down, and that ever-increasing round loss bonus of NiP does give them some options, but they'll likely just save. If actually they, ooh, this is kind of a marginal one. They can buy, but they won't have any nades unless they go for Galils. And looks like Galils and Tech 9s. What will Freiburg have? A Galil as well.
Oh,
so
Pitt's making the sacrifice.
that's what he's on. That's why Pitt's so cool, James. Because
Good guy Pitts.
Because he's actually the guy on the team that can do that, but be good at everything. He's like the star player you can put on nothing, because, but he's still really good. It's one of those situations. I've known a lot of players like this in my time where they seemingly have like insane amounts of skill, but sometimes you want them actually to have the least, because you'll know that they'll be the guys who get like a huge amount out of it.
To take you over the round.
Yeah, it's one of those, and Pitt is a good person in that position. So it's going to be up to the guys with the AKs then to win these initial entries, or perhaps the players with the Tech 9s to gain positioning or to challenge dangerous corners. To make up for the fact that they have less grenades, you can make up for it by having the guy with the Tech 9 jump around the corner. Instead of a flash, James, have the guy with the Tech 9 jump around the corner and peek with that instead of a flashbang. That's a pop Tech 9. So instead of a pop flash, perhaps. Pretty good off angle there by Zipex, but that's a very committed position. But the position is safeguarded by his teammate, or Dupree, sorry, is safeguarded by his teammate Device, who's on a further away angle. So it allows him to kind of peek into deep cover, and then to try to peek him, they'll be exposed to Device. Ooh, I like the baiting there, the jumping, very nicely done. And there you can see Dupree goes down, whereas this response, there's nothing from Device. He gets smoked off, in fact, so he can't get a trade frag, but it's pretty good for Astralis otherwise.
That is a serious wall of smoke. And Carrigan does not respect it, and the bomb will not go down. Now, NiP have only 2 plays left, which means if one person has to plant the bomb, and they have to because there's 20 seconds left, then fully the CTs will push because there'll only be one person to mount the defense. But it seems offense is the best form of defense there, leaving it in a 2 versus 1. And now 10 seconds, a bomb will get planted on Optimus. Cajun B coming in from the back. He will even things up. So, get right, 11 HP. See if KGB can do this. Hunting around the box. And you can see GetRight has made his way over towards the bank position, but the plant is good, and Cajun B can go for the hero here. Is GetRight gonna peek? He thinks it's a fake, but it's not. I love that. I love that. Nothing GetRight can do now but pick up an AWP, actually, so not bad. But I love the fact that in a 1 versus 1, at the moment, you can't hold the defuse because you could get shot so easily, which is why you can hold the defuse.
So the interesting thing for me there is actually the Get Right immediately realized, and you can see by how he planted the bomb, that the player was most likely there was rotation from B, and that he's most likely going to be flanking. But if you looked at Exist's position, Exist got completely caught off guard in the middle of nowhere because he didn't have, like maybe his game sense wasn't tingling in that moment. Because I don't think Exist should have died there, but he did. And Get Right with 11 HP is not much he's going to do a lot of the time. But Astralis, they have to be up against the buy again because the AWP was saved, the bomb went down, and the loss bonus is now for James. And yet still somehow NiP just keep scraping out these buys on this T side. Although Freiburg is down to a deagle. Oh, the tanks coming in. Dupree! That is fantastic. Spinning around there for a second kill. And that's going to be problems now for NiP. They have Forest in the AWP still, so there's hope in that. And there you go, you'll pick up the kill into device. And that makes it a 3 versus 3. And maybe there's a weapon that can be collected here for Freiburg. Indeed, Freiburg picks a weapon up by toilets, and NiP looming by this A bomb site, sorry.
You see Forrest is holding the angle for Exist, should another CT peek, but indeed, he's kind of keeping his buddy as secure as he can in case the CT's forced aggression, while Freiburg's going to come in and look for an opening. The smoke down onto bank. Will the CTs realise what's going on as well, though? Freiburg surely hears the reload coming in, but can't punish it. And it takes him down. Now it's Forrest alone with 25 seconds left on the clock. He has to move fast while that smoke is still in place. But the CTs can play passive. You can see the baiting going on there. Forrest getting sprayed. I'm not sure if he'll be able to escape. Almost, but not quite. 5-3 Astralis now with a 2-round lead. Surviving with 3 players. And the money will be good for the team, even when the buy comes out. NiP, again, on just over $3,000. They may go for the eco on this occasion. I haven't spent a cent yet. So, I'm going to go Tech 9 armor for the most part. Get Right going to go for the deagle and avoid the helmet, so he'll be spending around the same. Well, got 4 guys going towards short B, it seems. Let's Get Right's in short B, although they seem to be moving over towards A now, so wonder what the idea is there. They're holding down control of short B, but Get Right's rotating away, so it's going to be a bit of a charge. That smoke will help them pick up the bomb, but what can they do with it?
Yeah, the hopes aren't really too high. This might be one of the very few only pistol rounds we've seen from NiP today. Dayton's got close numerous times, but never could quite win that last round to force this situation out of the NiP side. But Astralis, they are very good at this game, James. They are one of the best teams in the world.
Counter-terrorist win, Dan.
They do.
In case you're wondering.
They do.
It is confirmed.
So, AWP for Forest, it looks like we'll probably... I mean, for the fact that he's taking so long, it probably means it will be an AWP. Yeah, he's going to have the AWP out. And if the AWP's out on Forest, we are unlikely to see a fast play. We are much more likely to see them try to get value out of Forest on the AWP early into the round, into the mid round, and then maybe we'll see a late play onto a bomb site. That's probably more likely. And oh, he didn't. What? Device didn't get a kill there. That would look very close, but the trades come in. The aggression punished for Astralis, and now it's just Carrigan left on the A side of the map, looking to try to do something. But what can Carrigan do? Oh, he started firing. What a spin there, the 90-degree flick, and Carrigan is dead straight in the face, no less. Now Freiburg is creeping on the site, might get an angle on Zipex. We've seen Zipex with massive saves. He did a 1 versus 4 here in this kind of position before against Virtus Pro. And he will get the first kill onto Freiburg, making things much worse. And it's going to be Exist. He needs to close this kill. Eventually he will. Very strange though, very strenuous affair as KGB makes his way up A long now. And the bomb plant does come in. So here goes KGB. Forrest was just going to die for free there, but the position is now known. Luckily for NiP, that was the weak player that went down, leaving Exist the strong one, and he will pick up the kill. So the round's won by NiP, and it was all due to the fact that Astralis went for that aggression as NiP wanted to as well, and NiP got the superior trade fragging situation.
So 6-4, the buy comes back out for the CT side, and the score continues to get closer. 3 moddies on the CT side, we'll see how they choose to use them. 3 on the C side as well, although The nades are distinctly lacking in comparison here for NiP, and again, Pit's just down to the Tech 9. Although there are various ways you can play it close. The one tax around towards short B is one perfect example. Toilets as well, if you can get into the toilets first. Passive hold from NiP in the playground. You see Dupree was lurking. It used to be Device who would hang around there, but maybe because he is AWPing for the team, he will be elsewhere. Obviously, depending on the timing and the setup, he can support his player as Forrest was supporting Exist on the inverse, going down long for the T's.
So here you go, we've got NiP going for the creep again. Creeper mode activated. Creeper in the toilet shapes. We have Get Right and Freiburg staying towards the toilet side whilst the rest of the team split up. Splitting off to the launch side. Catching Dupree here, he's actually really out of position. He can't fall back safely, he realizes that. And that's kind of the trap of this position. Then you have Carrigan, you know, if they want to overcommit, thinking, oh, we can get Dupree, he can't fall back, we can overwhelm him. Carrigan is there to try to get the frag from further away. But Astralis actually get out of there. Carrigan's down 4, he's completely changed his position here. The trade frags come in, Get Right gets the double kill there, and now it's down to a 4 versus 3. Surely you favour NiP getting into this bomb site. There's now only a single player left after Forrest takes down Dupree. Zipex against them all. He'll take down the bomb planter, but again, he is really blocked off there, and there's just a lot of players to deal with. KGMB has a long rotation, and there is a player who is expecting KGMB to arrive.
The guns suddenly start firing through the smoke, and running up bullets is Forrest. He's got enough time to reload those. Zipex chooses to start backing off. His teammate KGB is already miles away, so now it's time for Zipex to make his escape. If he goes into the water here, he would survive the bomb plant, but he will need to go much further to survive. Get Right and co. The spray begins, gets around the corner, and he might be good to save this second weapon for the team. Gonna make his way over to the nightclub.
Actually, music is louder than
it's loud enough.
Just me.
And you can always just use headphones and listen to actual music.
I guess you could do that. Just use some global hotkeys with foobar.
You remember, yeah, I was gonna say.
I do that sometimes.
It's annoying actually, my 60% keyboard doesn't have play and pause functions on it, which is the only thing missing from it.
What program do you use to play music?
YouTube.
Oh, you use YouTube?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. If you get foobar or something, you can just set global hotkeys. Winamp as well, various programs. But either way, global hotkeys aside, we'll have NiP making their move now. A little bit faster this round. You can see that they have adjusted the pace a little bit quicker. There's no real waiting around. They're just going straight up long right now with 3 players. One in toilets area and one guy hanging around the connector by the stairs. He's hanging around the stairs, looking to make a nuisance of himself. And this is an important round for NiP. I can't imagine Astralis have money left after this buy, if they lose this. And NiP slowly now holding after taking that map control. And it's sensible. We've seen Astralis going for pop flash plays around this kind of timing when they feel like NiP have taken quite a bit of map control. They throw Carrigan in there, they throw somebody in there, Dupree maybe with a pop flash, and it's consistently been doing damage. So I think NiP are very cognizant of that, and they want to try to catch that play here, and that's what this kind of time is about right now. But NiP are starting to run out of time. They need to go for this, but Dupree could pose a problem.
Few clues for Astralis with the Molotovs coming in to clear the smoothie position. I like Dupree's position actually, and he is playing with the shadows as well there, but the shadows will get the frag on this occasion. Carrigan with a 3-man spray down, avoiding the flames at 4 HP as well, looking for the 4th, looking for Pit, trying to pre-fire him. He is eventually going to get that kill as well. 4 for Carrigan. I didn't even see the 3rd player on long.
What? Just hold it down.
I only saw 2 players.
Just hold it down. Wow, that's ridiculous. A triple there out of Carrigan with the M4 A1S, not really the gun usually that you would say, I'm going to have to spray people down, I'm going to choose this gun. No, that is not how it works. But he did manage to take everybody down there. Probably to his surprise as well. He's probably only expecting 1 or 2 players before being refragged there, but he got...
I doubt he knew anything about the 3rd player.
Ooh.
Oh, that's failed. I've seen Get Right miss that one as well.
Wow, just got to call people out, Jez. This is just
Absolutely.
call out names.
Absolutely.
I'm sure Threat will be doing that later, should he review any demos. That is one thing that they've done. Actually, there was that Instagram post from GetRight quite some time ago where he actually posted a picture of like the whiteboard with all the NiP players' names on it, and
The Reckoning.
essentially, you know, we had like a table of who had, you know, missed what flashbang and all this kind of stuff, you know, because Threat was going through it with them, like he was, you know, the teacher, the school teacher, and making sure everyone was accountable for their grenades. Anyway, 8-5, and Astralis have done a great job in holding off NiP and their deadly T-halves. Can they prevent NiP from getting anything more? We see a Bison from Freiburg. Why is there a Bison? Surely...
That's the second time we've seen a Bison.
Surely you don't buy a Bison ever. It's just
I want to
terrible.
say this year.
It just sucks. It just completely sucks.
It is.
It's by far the worst SMG, I think.
It's useless if people have helmets.
Yeah.
And everyone has a helmet in this situation.
And you would reasonably expect everyone to have a helmet. Why would
How
they
much is
not?
it? 1,200, isn't it?
Isn't it more? Isn't it 1,500 or something?
It could be 1,500.
Because I think the UMP is
I think
cheaper
you're right.
for sure. I never buy it, so I shouldn't know. I should never not know that because I never would ever use
It's
it.
funny, I give them away, Dan, but I don't often buy them myself.
No, because they suck.
Because I like the Mac 10. It's hard not to buy a Mac 10, Dan.
Mac 10 is cheaper and better for purpose.
I think it feels, I don't know if it's faster, but I think the moving accuracy is probably better. Because the Bison has so many bullets, logic would say the moving accuracy would be worse.
Well, we have Freiburg about to make a peek into China. He doesn't even have the Bison out. He has a Tech 9 out, James, because the Tech 9 is ultimately better than the Bison anyway.
Wouldn't that be?
Just wasted his money probably.
Wouldn't that be $2,000?
Maybe
Weaponry could have bought Galil.
maybe he accidentally purchased the Bison
Maybe he did, yeah.
and was like, oh god, better purchase something that does something.
Yeah, because otherwise,
Tech
surely
9.
you'd buy a Galil if you had money for a Bison and a Tech 9.
Yeah, yeah. I
Pit's
agree.
gone down as well. One by one, Dan. They are just getting eliminated. One by one. No
Yeah.
answer, almost. Dupree's gone down, but I'll take that. Dupree's fine.
Yeah, and like I said, this is for me. Astralis need to win map one if they want to, you know, let's say they want to go through this series winning without having to sweat too much. They need to win this map because it goes all the way to Dust 2. Dust 2 is anyone's, and they are unlikely to win Cobblestone. So it's definitely going to be tough if they were to lose this one. But hey, we haven't seen NiP's TCT side yet, so let's not count them out. They could still post a 6th round, although with Tech 9s and Ned Eagle, it would definitely be difficult. 3 AWPs here from Astralis is pretty beast. 3 AWPs, you rarely see that. It is definitely not optimal against Tech 9 rushes, I must say.
Carrigan's dragging his M4 somewhere.
Ah, okay. There you go.
Yeah, he's put the AWP somewhere. I don't think I've ever seen 3 AWPs on any side of Overpass before. But he is, in fairness, rolling with the M4 for the most part, so it doesn't really count.
I think I saw Envious do it like in DreamHack Winter 2014, I want to say, maybe, I don't know. But maybe not. Okay, we have some nades here and there. Astralis starting to wonder what's going on. What's the haps? And we're going to see some of the set grenades here from NiP to get into the D-bomb side. Ooh, get right with 2 quick kills. And this is suddenly looking a lot better here for NiP than one may have expected, as Get Right just takes no prisoners, charging in. 3 players are dead by the hands of Get Right. His hands are stained with Danish blood, Japes.
After such a slow build-up to that round and the lack of utility, now they have double AWPs Dan themselves. That is not what I was expecting, it must be said, in the last round of the first half. That was fairly solid. Get Right with 16 kills. Pit with just the 1 again. He was taking it for the team a little bit here and there, but...
Yeah, I mean, he was on Tech 9s when everyone else had rifles, maybe like 3 or 4 times. But then you have to also remember all the rounds where they were playing essentially in Eco or Quasi. So I mean, Astralis were the first team we've seen in the recent matches of NiP that actually were able to force NiP to hard buys, basically, but buys where they only have pistols. Most teams don't usually get there. So obviously that's very important. You have to be able to do that against NiP if you want to actually be able to beat them. And Astralis have done that, so they've set themselves up quite well. But can they have a better T side? That's also up for debate, because a 9-6 scoreline is really, I mean, if NiP win the pistol round, and we've seen them win many a pistol round, then this is absolutely doable for NiP as well. So we shall have to see.
Yeah, it's pretty close, and you know, after the dominance shown on Overpass versus Dignitas, there's so much that can happen here. We've seen historical. I mean, things have changed over time for Astralis. Obviously, Device used to be the guy who's playing in Dupree's role, playing it over towards long. Sometimes he would lurk. I like how the long area varies between teams as well, and over time. For example, Na'Vi used to smoke off the end of long when they were on the CT side, and then you'd have Edward sometimes behind the smoke, sometimes nobody's there, but it was just mad paranoia for the Ts. I don't really see them doing that anymore, but obviously Device now he's gone into a dedicated AWP role pretty much for the Astralis team. His role has changed with the AWP, so he can't be as aggressive with those kind of shenanigans, because it's better to have you know, the AWP with support from a rifler. The way Fallen, I always refer to Fallen on this map. If you look at the demo of where they destroyed Na'Vi on Overpass in the major final, the way, I can't remember if it was Fur or FNX. I want to say it was Fur, but recently he's been playing with FNX for support, but he always has support in those kind of roles on the CT side, unless he's playing a team which they thoroughly dominate, and then he'll just do whatever he wants with a scout instead. But yeah, it's changes. So I'm curious to see what changes we will see from Astralis, if any, on their T side as well. So the match should be continuing very soon. 6ix9ine, do you have any favoured side, or are you just waiting to witness?
No, not particularly. I think it really depends. For NiP, they need a good economy to start off with. I think that kind of goes without saying. I mean, Astralis actually had the worst case situation, because Astralis won the pistol round, and then they immediately lost against the Force Spy. At which point NiP were able to string 2 more rounds together, which means that NiP had like a really amazing start. But then Astralis were able to break them buy after buy after buy. The bombs were going down. The 3 following rounds that after NiP started losing. So 3 defusers in a row for Astralis to finally break the money of NiP, which is kind of nuts. Astralis went through a lot to actually break their money. And NiP, you could see what they were trying to do in various rounds. They were trying to initially avoid Device as an AWPer, and then it came to a situation where they couldn't really have the utility to have firepower and set piece potential to get into a bomb site. So then that favors the A side of the map more, try to get little setups going, try to kind of push into the A side, you know, get those kills as you push up to A. And they were actually managing to do it here or there, caught off an aggression to finally, you know, be able to in a spot to win a round again. So it's going very back and forth, but you can clearly see that Astralis have a deadly CT side on this map, and there's no weakness. I wouldn't say there's a single weakness for Astralis on the CT side of this map. And that's a lot to say, because it's a hard map to play a CT side on. And we didn't even see them go particularly aggressive. And I know for a fact that they have that in their repertoire too.
Well, it continues. All the Astralis players moving to upper. All the NiP players almost going upper to the downstairs. So let's see if Astralis will go for the long play. If they hug the wall, then they won't be heard. Although from those positions, I don't think they'll be heard at all. All this jumping around, maybe Forrest will hear something.
This is a really cool way to play the pistol round from CT side, but you can talk about that a little bit later now as Forrest gets the first kill. First pick off. Forrest so crucially important on pistol rounds because he's so damn good, and he's going to go down straight away so after a frag. So 4 versus 3 here for the NiP side. They'll give up the bomb plant. But you can see in many situations, they actually seem okay with giving away bomb plants as long as they can close the pistol round.
Dan, they've got raid boss P250. They've got double raid boss P250 or triple raid boss. Oh, I like it, that is happening, it's happening. Well, Zipx 1 versus 4 now, and he's going to get taken down as well. It's interesting that they've chosen the CT side to go for P250 raid boss.
I wonder if they just picked up a couple P250s. I actually don't know. Because I didn't check their buy at the start.
Well, Pitt's using Forest's P250. I think 2 people dropped 3 P250s. But it's interesting because I've always said that there's...
Makes less sense to do that on the... Because you already have...
Yeah, because the point for me, the point of the P250s on a pistol round is that they have almost double the one-shot range of a Glock on the pistol, but the USPs have like double the range of a P250.
I'm gonna ask Brett about this and then get back to
Triple
you guys.
P250 raid boss stand, but on the CT side, what is the reasoning? I can't even.
Well, I mean, the setup as well that they use is really cool because they have a lot of setups on the pistol rounds where they just let the T's plant. And
In fairness,
that's a really big deal, but that they at least make sure that they close the round.
in fairness, if you're talking about, if you're expecting 5 Kevlars from the T side, then obviously the P250s are going to do much better if you're shooting people in the chest. Whereas you might, if you're shooting people in the chest, you might need to hit them 6 times with a USP to kill them. Whereas the P250, it might be 3 times. So, in that sense, you should get more kills out of them in more situations, depending on the distances you're playing. So, where you're going to have reasonably closer distances a lot of the time on overpass, unless you're playing long on a pistol, then I think that might be why.
Ouch, Dupree. The Deagle. The Deagle and Dupree. Ooh. 2 kills, just lining them up right there. 2 bodies in the same place. Dupree will get another one. Yes, he does. There's the 3rd one. Now 2 more players to go. Actually, you should put the bell away, James. You're ruining it, James. The bell.
Am I putting you off that?
The gratuitous use of the bell has spoiled it all, James. Gary has to come in here to save the day with Exist. And it's not looking too fantastic here for the NiP side right now. They have to be able to defuse, take down the device. Maybe they'll win the round, but they've lost so much money already. And Exist will close it down in the end. But that is so much damage and a bomb plant. Astralis already were going to buy next round with AKs and everything. Now they can do, they have even more money. They can get an AWP if they want. This is so much pressure on NiP. NiP actually, I think they lose the ability to buy if they lose this, yeah. If NiP lose this round, they will not be able to buy. And look at this money for Astralis. Just boom, everything. We just have everything. Oh, all the nades.
Triple Deagle one-shots. Dan, I sincerely apologise for tarnishing your flow with the bell. I shall review the use of the bell.
I'm just going to melt the bell. If you're going to come in, it's going to be melted to the desk.
Oh dear, I like the bell. I haven't even got the emote in the chat yet, so please spare the bell. So NiP starting off aggressive and then moving to more passive roles. You can see their money is quite hurting, as Dan mentioned. Those Deags, I'm still feeling them, Dan. I can still feel them right now. The images are burned into my retinas.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on NiP to actually close this round because otherwise they cannot buy it. And it should have been a round where they pick up for free and one cost of $700 takes down 3 players and costs them something like, what, $12K basically with the investment of 700. That's what that was. It's ridiculous. Oh my goodness, device taking down Forest. And now you can maybe see more action from Pit because he's picked up the AWP on the CT side. And of course he was massive support on the T side. There's no surprise he didn't do much. Fragging wise, it was up to his teammates. Get Right sure as hell did. But he was supposed to. That was the whole plan all along. Get Right takes down device towards the A side of the map, and the main push is coming into B now.
This is susceptible to a player on his left, though. Oh no, that's his first teammate there, which is Freiberg, going to hold things down and trade for him, but he will eventually be traded for as well. Dupree's got an AK. He's last man standing for his team. There's only 2 left here for NiP, and those smokes will probably allow him to get some 1v1s in, but he's got the wrong one as the smoke disappears. Pitt has the angle, has the AWP, has the frag. 9 to 9, a pair of 9s.
Yeah, so Pitt's already like made 4 frags, I think, so far. I think he was on 1 going into this half, so yep. Already beginning to deliver something, and NiP hold on. That was a really critical round. And one of the important frags actually was, I think it was from Exist towards the A side of the map because there was a lurker in device still just lurking around there. If he has survived or won that battle, I don't know if NiP even win that round because that lurk is very dangerous. Either way, 2 Deagles, device and Dupree, and 2 people. And I'm pretty sure NiP ooh, alright on the noggin.
Bosh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
If I may.
So, will Dupree, will he do it again, James? Will there be more pops from Dupree? Is he in the same position? No, he's towards A long this time. That's basically all they're playing for right now is damage. Getting bombed down with no nades is more or less impossible.
As far as I'm surprised his
Silencer.
Yeah, Silencer was not exposed there, but I think the position from the person he took down was to pre-fire bank or something similar on the site itself. Otherwise, maybe he would have seen, but who knows? We will never. So it is the man, Dupree, who has 4,092 kills on his deagle. That is a lot.
Wow, that's a lot.
I think I have like 3,300 on mine in fairness. But he has 4,092. He was looking for his 4,093rd stat track kill. He is not to find it on this day.
Well, NiP are doing an okay job so far. They won that round clean, and but they need another win without losing more than 1 or 2 players to start building that economy. In fact, if they lose 2 players, it's basically kind of break even because the CT buys are so expensive. It gets towards breaking even. Maybe a little bit, in the plus, maybe. But we shall see. Look at this passive.
Look at this.
Passive play.
Look at that.
From Astralis. They are holding all the way back on all fronts right now. We've got also similar kind of approach from NiP early into the rounds. Just waiting for
respect that.
something.
It is immense amounts of respect from both sides.
Ooh, not connecting there. Okay, looking for the second shot, but he gets punished.
He went back to the well too many times there, and he got pulled into the well by Device. And Dupree will meet him there, as Device hasn't pushed up too much towards long yet. Forrest just getting that dirty kick. KGB holding the angle, but just not enough. Trades coming in, now favouring Astralis with a man advantage. It feels like so much time has passed, Dan, but so much time is left between these two sides. Zipek still holding an angle towards the B bomb site. Things reasonably static for the T side, but that bomb will have to move into a position to be supported by Device. Definitely want to keep that trade game going, especially as if it goes down with the wrong time. There may be no time left. Zipek's with just a random pre-fire, which happens to have GetRight right next to it, and he will go down. So GetRight in a strong position now. The question is, where is Freiberg and where can this bomb get planted? Well, there's an opening from Device. Freiberg coming in from the back, and stop the plant from going down. There's 11 seconds. The money grenade. Device has to plant the bomb. He can do it on the other side. He'll do it by Optimus, in fact.
Yeah, you surely favour Device in this situation. Oh, there it is. Nothing Freiberg can do. And that's the 3K for Device. So Astralis post around to the board, and NiP had won just enough rounds in a row, and with not just enough people surviving in a row, that they can actually have something in this round. But it's not a great something. It's an AWP with no nades on pit. It's a CZ and full nades to GetRight, and and 2 M4s. So it is very, very suboptimal. Despite it's not what NiP would like to play with, but perhaps they can break Astralis immediately with it. Want to see if they can get some aggressive or more forward kills. You can see the setup here from Forest and Pit, looking for those initial challenges towards the A side of the map. But what we haven't seen is any deep peeks towards the party area with that AWP so far. It's generally Pit has been playing it very safe.
I like the flash for his teammate to peek in. Meanwhile, Dupree with 2 headshots. Freiberg and GetRight going to get sent into another dimension. But still a slow round. Forrest in a good position to go for some aggression here, and he will need to, as 2 men down is not how NiP want to play this round. KGB just holding the angle. It's always important to have somebody in connector. Oh, just poor timing there. He has got to be frustrated with that. Hashtag KGB did nothing wrong, Dan. It's always important to have somebody in connector, just making sure that the CTs can't flank a player if you have one in short B, who's focusing on the fight itself. Often people will be shot in the back there unless you have somebody in connector, so if that door opens, you can have a flank of your own. Astralis moving towards the site now from long A, with Dupree creeping into B actually, so you have to wonder if he's going to try and pull rotation, or if he will make the call once he gets into a good position for his team to rotate. He'll go down. No rotation coming in from the CTs just yet. Exists in fact going over towards A, so maybe realizing what's going on. Pit takes down the lurker, and the plant should come in soon.
This is the first kill there, but he gets traded immediately, and now Zipek on 16 health somehow gets the bomb down. And there's a few bullets there once he gets that bomb down, just to keep the pressure up there. He knows he's in trouble. Forest and Pit slowly clear spots to make their way to him.
He's got shadow advantage.
And here goes Pit and Forest looking for the double peek. They've got to be careful not to line up, but also to time this correctly. And there's the shadow, but where is the refrag? It's looking really slow right now. Oh, there it is. Forest comes in. You can see they were desperately trying to avoid both peeking and dying immediately at once. And so that's... He's got it. Very close. Very close. Wow, that's really interesting there, because there was a significant delay from what you would expect in that second peak. Perhaps Forrest was trying to bait out a continuation spray.
Yeah.
And then there was no continuation spray, and then he had to commit to the peak. But already at that point, it got weird for Zipex. So very, very tense situation in that 2v1.
Look at all the plants and diffusers, the explosions and diffusers. Obviously, there could be even more on the T1 round, but the bomb is going down quite a fair bit. Got a bit of jump peeking coming in from Freiberg, goes for a nade timing, but misses it. A little bit too late. All the nades flying in, but Astralis is going to force the issue here. This by the barrels will get taken down. No trade for NiP either. This is a really bad start for them.
Yeah, they got the side here looking pretty good. And there is Forrest. Oh yeah, indeed, that is a nasty nade. Like 40 damage right there, and Astralis looking very good on the defense. Now Pit with everything to do alone. Too much to face there. And NiP look to be struggling now. They'll have to eco again. And I fear for them that this is an opportunity lost. And potentially the map lost at this point. We'll have to see if they can bring something back when they eventually can buy. But with this low money, you would expect actually, if not a force buy, a quasi at the very least. Something. Except for, well, they've gone for the full save. 2 PT50s. So instead of maybe getting a force buy in there, an eco, and then a buy, they are going to put themselves in a spot where they can eco, buy. If they lose that round, kind of almost buy in the next round. Ooh, I hear a big
I hear bells being rung there.
Yeah.
Well, NiP haven't managed to convert that. Even if you get a dink with a USP, it doesn't necessarily mean that you've done a lot of damage.
40, 45 damage.
Yeah, from distance, you may have to dink them, I want to say
three times,
but I'm not 100% sure.
At the max ranges, I think it's definitely 3 times.
I know with a Glock it is, but USP...
I think with USP too.
Could be.
It does not do that much damage.
Which might be why you get the P250s up. That's Kevlar.
Maybe it is 2 times. I don't know actually. I am not sure. It must be close.
It depends on the fall off. So I'm sure there's some distance where it would be 3. But if, from a reasonable distance, it's 2. It's 3 with a Glock.
Yeah.
But I just feel like maybe it's not necessarily the same with the USP. Tests will have to be done then, as per usual. Into the lab, into the FACET training config. On a side note, actually, there'll be a FACET training config 2.0 coming out soonish. Has been improved. Back into this though. Second eco coming for NiP. They have a few nades. We'll see what they choose to do with them. Maybe combined with some aggression. See, the 1D is out for Mr. Freiberg. Full nades, of course, for the Astralis side, who are quite fairly spread out towards B, connector, and passive start towards A. Don't want to get themselves into trouble too early. Don't want to swim too deep, Dan. I wanted to make a reference about sharks. There's a shark. Have you seen that shark game?
What shark game?
You play as a shark. You can either play as a shark or play as like a guy in a diving suit, I guess, with harpoons and stuff.
Oh yeah. They
just go around wrecking people.
It's a multiplayer game. Yeah.
Someone tweeted me a trailer or a picture, a poster for planes, but they're sharks. It's apparently a film that's coming up. Anyway, enough about sharks then. We are on overpass. Not many sharks here. Still no kills again on its anti-eco here. Now NiP is starting to stream in towards long, and Device is in a lot of trouble.
That looks so awkward. He's like, yeah, he's dead. Oh wait, he's still not dead. Okay, using my bullets. Oh wait. Yeah, that was a bit awkward. Pit actually has an AWP here that he can potentially save or do more damage with. If he saves that AWP actually, that's actually really big deal. Because if you consider, again, right, that they did a full eco here, saving that AWP goes a long way now. Because, as I said, you know, if they lose their buy round, because they've saved, they should have enough to kind of, I believe, have something in the region of maybe $3,000-ish to $2,000
Get Right's got 3,300.
if they lose that buy round.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking like quite far ahead. Like if they lose the buy round, that's next round, because of the full saves that they've done, which is rare to see. Plus the AWP save. What economic position they're actually in? Are they in a spot where they actually buy still? Because I'm trying to, because this, you know, they've decided to go for the Felipe. You almost never see that, and so it's quite curious as a test to see how much it will help them. So you can see that their money's really healthy, like are all around 6K because they decided to double eco. So how much are they left with, or are they just gonna? Because I wondered if maybe they'd like leave 1,000 in the bank or something purposely after doing that. That's what I was wondering. But they're actually not going to. They're just gonna spend it all, James. They just wanted everything. They just wanted everything. They wanted it all.
They wanted it all. So there's the BG smoke. Not BG's ban, but BG's in bad games, as opposed to BG's in good games. I think that smoke is dangerous. Ooh, that is chunks, Dan. That is chunks.
Ooh, that's even chunkier.
Wow. What a response.
That's exactly what I was gonna
Sit
say.
down. The hell do you think you're doing with that grenade? Sit down. Oh, wow, and Get Right got put in the naughty corner, Dan. He's facing the wall for a good 5 minutes. Pitt's going to take the device down over towards long, so that's some map control for the NiP side. He may not be challenged for a while. Indeed, he has already rotated his position. Maybe Astralis smelling weakness over towards B will go that way, but oh, that is a welcome party and a half. Freiburg and Exist there with party hats on, Dan, but now we're down to a 2 versus 2.
Yeah, what a weird round, I gotta say. Now it's gonna be Dupree getting the bomb down. There is an HE from Pitt though, but he's gonna be having the AWP out. Zipex has the money angles. Surely they expect somebody to be in this position. Forrest, will he check this? Oh, now he definitely will. The flash comes in, but the timing, oh god, it's so awkward here, but Dupree providing excellent support there with that flash. The timing could not have been better. And now Pitt is trying to go for those flick shots through the wooden panels. But this is looking really impossible right now. How does Pitt get these kills? Walks in and gets taken down. Pitt keeps getting put in these spots where it's really impossible, or not impossible, nothing's impossible, but really difficult to do anything.
This is a really important win, if it is to be a win for Astralis, because they haven't played Cobblestone since IEM San Jose. I don't even know what year that was then.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, again, to note what they actually get out of the full double save. We can see because they saved a gun here and there, they actually have a decent buy. Well, it's okay. Freiburg has an MP7.
They have a serviceable buy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if Pitt can connect his shots, then life is good. Otherwise, life will probably be bad.
Freiburg can connect the shots down with the MP7. Then that's fantastic. Running out of grenades, though, as well, are the NiP side. But there is aggression here from Forrest, but he needs to, I think he needs to go for a bit of risk here and get in fast because, wow, Get Right's taken down KGB, so this could slow down the approach from Astralis. They haven't created a weakness yet. And Forrest's going to find the bomb as well, or is he? Zipex is approaching, just picking up the bomb. Forrest hears his steps, but is he going to turn around and kill him in time? Oh, Zipex gets just off the angle, but I don't know if Forrest has seen him because maybe Forrest is looking for more. Forrest can hold Monster for them now. They don't need to watch Monster anymore. He can just stand there and watch.
NiP have a total of 0 grenades now. 0 grenades.
Forrest is coming from the back down. Zipex device have gone down. Freiburg uses great timing to come in with that MP7 down. He's taking shots with the MP7. That is brilliant. Forrest's flank killed everything.
That is such a big play because now they can actually, they can still win the map now. It's actually possible now by winning that round. That is really, really amazing. If you consider, again, like the fact that they decided instead of to force buy, which most teams would have done, and then have 1 buy round. They didn't have just 1 buy round. They had a buy round, and then what we just saw there, which was almost a full buy. So close enough. Close enough to win in the round with 4 people still left alive. So that one situation definitely has come back to help NiP and be a boon for them. But now they're on double of Exist and Pitt. Interesting here as we see Forrest moving up once again, taking down the bomb planter, or bomb carrying player rather. Bomb planter to perhaps be, but not anymore. Zipex with the trade onto Forrest, and that's a 4 versus 4 now. Get Right's decided to come in to apply some pressure perhaps, and HE quickly into the corner there. Expecting that corner position. In fact, there will be no one there. And Get Right Suspicions this time will be confirmed to be false. And Astralis are in an interesting position because they still have a 4 versus 4, so they are still at advantage in this situation.
Look how paranoid Zipex is after the flank in the previous round from Forest. He's checking the corners in T-spawn, Dan. He's checking the corners in T-spawn. That is absurd. Pit down's 25 HP. Some information has been found from the Astralis play, but still, Zipex is just far away over towards B. Like, he might not be needed because Dupree's coming in with the frags here. Pit finally to trade him. But again, Zipex just on the creep here. Checking every nook and cranny. But you have to wonder where the bomb is going to go, especially as Device has gone down.
Yeah, Pit is so important in this round. Oh, Freiburg takes down the flanking player, but does that actually suggest to them that it's going to be B? Because if Pit rotates now, he's dead. Pit cannot afford to reposition right now. And he's holding. He's holding. Oh, that gives it away. Now Cajun B is going to go for the plant. Surely Pit gets the kill here. Absolutely understanding that Cajun B just has to go for it, doesn't know what's going on. And the round goes to NiP. Pit with a wonderful save there. If he was to have a good round, it was those frags, those 3 kills that he made in that one.
They're forcing it up. Zipex has 7k, so he can drop for one of his teammates. You can see the 30 bomb coming out there for Dupree. But is it going to be enough? Maybe he needs more. Astralis require 2 more rounds versus NiP, who will have the superior buy by far. Are we going to see a fast play here from Astralis, all things considered? Moving quickly towards Connector. I think there was a boost coming in, but might have ended a bit early. So this means Astralis have closed the distance with the Take 9, but it's the AK to take down Get Right. No answer. The bomb seen as well, which means a full rotation from the CTs. Freiburg taking players down as well, as is Forest, as is Freiburg again, leaving Dupree alone versus 3. This is a very fast round, but maybe for different reasons. Especially Astralis coming in with that first frag as well. I thought they were going to cause havoc, but they've only got 2 kills.
NiP looking to go to 14 here, sorry, as Dupree is in an awful position. He's got a nice little angle, and that will give him 1 frag, but that will confirm his position. And now he's up against 2 healthy players, with a couple flashbangs between them, and a smoke grenade as well. Now Dupree is making all the noise in the world. He's faking it. Let's see if it is bought here by Forest. Will he check this? Will Forest find a way to check this? Forest's teammate is rotating. So it looks like this little fake from Dupree has actually worked, because now he will get a 1 versus 1. But now he just has to predict the right spot. And Forest has to be quick with the angle that he's holding. That's a very deadly angle. Oh, oh no. Wow, Forest somehow understood that was the perfect timing. And somehow he almost dies as well. Crazy round in that sense, right at the end. And now NiP have managed to claw back to 14 rounds. And Astralis don't have money now.
That is Jesus tier game sense, Dan. I don't know if he saw like a corner of a shadow or something.
The voice is in his head, James.
It's
you must speak now.
It's like it's possible that there was a shadow there, but I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything, Dan. It makes no sense.
It's the Counter-Strike gods.
Forest, God Forest.
He's the chosen one. He's the prophet. And it's going to be Astralis now losing a player quickly to Pit and his AWP shenanigans. Just Device here with any armor. Oh, gets a kill through the wooden panel there with the spray. And that's a situation where both teams now have lost 1 man apiece. But the CTs have armor. Astralis do not have armor, James. They do not have nades. They do not have rifles, apart from Device.
And NiP were on point with the nade timing towards short B as well, as Zipex got wrecked by a HE before even seeing anyone. So, Astralis now still have an AK in play on Device, and he will need to do much with it. He's the only man on his team with Kevlar. Got a helmet as well. So Zipex, I think he's jumping, and he should get heard by Forest. 2-man spray down for Forest, easy for Forest. Dupree is there as well, but really what can he do? Even if he picks up the M4, he's got to rely on fortune to get Forest looking the other way, surely, to win this duel. The timing is going to go with Forest as always. 4 men surviving for NiP. Game points as well. That was Dan, that wasn't me, just so you know.
We got the tactic. That was actually completely by accident as well. I kind of just... Anyway, so tactical pause comes in from Astralis as they try to work out what the hell they're going to do in this round. And they could be losing this now. That's the crazy thing. NiP, again, they did that full double save. I can't really emphasize this enough because in one of the 2 rounds which they had the saves for, they were able to steal away an AWP and another gun at some point, leaving 2 players with around $3,500 by the time they lost that first buy round. And because one of the 2 of the players still had a bit of money left from that buy round because they'd saved so much, they had another buy, when normally almost no teams ever have a buy in that situation because they force buy and they get rid of that $1,500 immediately. But NiP saved it, and it came back and has put them in this position.
Yeah, and what are the implications of them losing this map? Because they vetoed Cash, which means Cobblestone is open. NiP picked Cobblestone. So does that mean that Astralis were looking to win this in 3 maps? Because again, they haven't played Cobblestone since IEM San Jose. Yeah,
of course. I mean, that's the surprising gamble for me because yeah, there's this really, against NiP for them, there's this really weird situation. It's like with this is the thing why Na'Vi are really strong, basically, is because Na'Vi are good everywhere apart from that one map that they'll always veto, which is Cash. So that's perfect for them against NiP. But against NiP for Astralis, it's like, okay, we know they're probably going to beat us on Cash. We're pretty sure about that. But then we leave Cobblestone open, and this isn't usually an issue for any real top teams. It's just NiP. This will be an issue for them because obviously they perceive NiP's Cash game to perhaps be so good that they struggle with it, and they struggle with it so much. And Cash has never been a super strong map for Astralis from what I've seen. So anyway, James, the questions will all be answered as to how Astralis will either bring this to overtime or if they will indeed have to go into Cobblestone having to win it, James, which I think is definitely a suboptimal situation if you are Astralis right now. They've gone for that gamble. They've put it all on overpass. And Device will pick up the first entry, or rather the first kill, first pick in the rounds. They haven't really entered anywhere in particular, so I would just hesitate to say it's actually an entry frag.
Chest, Dad.
Yeah. I suppose so. That's one way to put it.
Ooh, I was wondering about that. Yeah, earlier. That, I believe, is a Molotov for the left side of the tunnel, on the T side of the monster tunnel. If you're looking at it from a CT, I was wondering if you could Molotov that if you were a CT on the left side, where you can go and do some surfing and so on, and force the player into view. I was wondering about that yesterday.
Oh right, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, well it looks like Forrest will take down Device in the position that Dupree was holding off in, or Dupree is going to show him how it's done and take him down. So 1 for 1, not good here. Forrest really needed to get the two victories there on each respective 1 versus 1, but instead he falls, leaving his team with a lot to do, and with no AWP, it's definitely a lot more difficult as well. Let's see if they can do it here. The push is going to come. This is it for Astralis. Entry from Dupree. It looks really good here. Oh, what is this? 3 frags out of nowhere, and somehow NiP win it. Just if you blinked, you would have missed it. NiP take it 16-14, and that is map 1 in the bag. I completely was convinced Astralis were going to do that. They had the entry upon entry, then boom, 3 frags immediately from Freiburg. I didn't even see who. Freiburg took 2 of them.
I actually blinked. I missed it. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
I had no idea what happened.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. You completely missed that. That's hilarious. So NiP win Overpass, a map that Astralis really desperately needed to win, because now they're going on to Cobblestone, a map that they almost never play competitively. In fact, recently there was an interview with Carrigan where they're talking about Nuke and how Nuke is a great map for them. You know, they're a bit sad that Inferno is going to go away because Inferno is one of their strongest maps, and they've been doing great on it. And by the way, that's one that NiP vetoed, one that NiP doesn't like to play. And that's that Cobblestone. They don't really. It's not really much of a thing. So we'll have to see how much of a thing they have going on Cobblestone. But it's definitely NiP. NiP are definitely favoured, I think.
Yeah, I think this is a very interesting situation. I mean, do they even practice Cobblestone?
I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. They must be able to play it.
I mean, how much do you fear NiP on Cash to veto Cobblestone when you haven't played it since San Jose? I literally don't even know when San Jose was. That's bad. We'll find out after the break. See you in a few minutes.